Strategy guides for it, so I wouldn't even have to ask you, but they got destroyed and thrown out fucking years ago.
Yeah, story time with Stinkies. Look, I got a princess blanket. Ta-da. And I got this at Dollar General. Family Dollar? Dollar General, one of them.
All except for her favorite princess.
Yeah, wait.
But at least they have Rapunzel on there, so you can kind of...
Yeah, they don't have Sleeping Beauty. Like, I actually been like an Ariel, and I can't stand redheads.
Yeah, Ariel's an exception. She's a mermaid.
Mermaid.
And she basically was the ideal at her time like that, like the whole ideal thing.
Well, she's from Denmark, too. Her storyline. She's a Danish princess.
Technically, I would call her more Atlantean.
Okay. Well, I'm saying I did look up the
Where
origin behind her. Her
originated.
country's from Denmark. Which I think is kind of cool to have like a Danish princess, because I think Snow White was originally German, Sleeping Beauty is either French or German, and I think Belle was from France. One of them...
Well, it depends on what original you're referring to. You realize a lot of the original fairy tales that Disney took and made into kin things like that were actually pretty freaking gruesome. Like, like Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. Seven Dwarves were actually her children.
I know.
Sleeping Beauty.
Still got my hair in braids.
Kind of another case like that. Belle, with Beauty and the Beast like that, is actually basically about Stockholm Syndrome. When someone kidnaps you, holds you against your will, so then you develop feelings for them. Basically, it's a survival instinct. Yeah, they get worse.
Is Rocky Horror actually comfy?
Yeah, it's alright.
You look like a grandpa.
Like I said, I feel like my grandpa. I can just hear better than he could. Hopefully, when I'm his age, I can still hear better too.
Do you stink?
Doubt it. I never really fucking got close to him and smelled something like that, Emma.
Never hugged him?
I hugged him and stuff like that, but I never sat there and like fucking intentionally smelt the guy. A little fucking weird.
Had their grandpa smell.
No,
you know how like grandmas have a grandma smell, and grandpa like the perfume or like a cozy sweater type of feel, or grandpa like my dad had that like cigar stinky smell, and he always stunk like cigars. Even if he washed his clothes, he would still stink. Like not like bad, like gross, but like a hint of it.
Yeah, because cigar smoke is a hell of a lot stronger than cigarette smoke is.
I think grandma smells like cute perfumes or too strong of a perfume, like very floral.
I've been around plenty of old ladies that have perfume like that, and they're in the front of the bus, you in the back of the bus, and you're sitting there like, holy crap.
That's not like
this should be burning my nose.
Sweat. The smell. Sweet. Whatever. I'm so shitting. Sweet perfume smell like not floral, like sweet smells.
No, but
different.
I guess when he was younger, I guess he used to smoke. Well, I never really smoked, but the only thing like that I really remember of him like that is every time I used to go over there and my grandmother would make homemade spaghetti. Well, and she would buy the spaghetti noodles like that, but she'd buy a hamburger and make her own homemade meatballs, which were literally like the size of grapefruits. Oranges like that. I used to eat like 3 or 4 plates of the spaghetti like that. The first one, like I would literally sit down after him. Like he'd be down already eating his food. I would sit down and within 5 minutes my plate was empty. It's like, holy crap, did you even eat it? It's like you inhaled it. He's like a black hole.
Mm-hmm.
But that was just his way of joking with me like that. You can't get like this, like, oh man, this young man definitely got an appetite. You're going to grow up to be a big, strong young man.
Oh, you're fine. Nope. I put video. Back on. Sorry, guy.
Okay, sure. We're getting involved with random ass numbers.
Okay,
Not
so
very often, but
there's probably a couple stories. I don't know which one you want to read. Is like they give you any content.
I was gonna ask you there.
Okay.
Which one? You got Be Patient Pooh, Rue's New Babysitter, The Sleepover, Eeyore's Good Day, Tigger's Moving Day, Pooh Welcomes Winter, Scavenger Hunt, A Good Night's Sleep, Rabbit's Bad Mood, Why Take a Nap, Boo to You, Winnie the Pooh, and Piglet's Nightlights.
Pooh Welcomes Winter. I think that'd be good because it's kind of like autumn and like wintry, and it's getting colder and darker, and I like it. ASMR video. No. Like, oops. I got my wooden blocks still, you guys. If you, that guy Jonathan from the church gave these to me, which are vintage, and I did a video on it if you guys wanted to look. I think you guys playing with my vintage blocks, so. Sorry, I just had to let people know.
Okay. Pooh welcomes winter. Winter will be here soon, Winnie the Pooh said one day to his best friend Piglet. That's what Christopher Robin says. Who's Winter? Piglet asked. The someone who is coming soon, Pooh said. Oh, a visitor, Piglet said. We should do something nice for him. We could give him a party, Pooh suggested. That's a great idea, Piglet agreed. Come on, said Pooh. Let's go tell the others. We must start preparing right away. We don't know when exactly winter will be coming, after all. By the time the two friends got to Kanga's house, they were so chilled that they had to stay for tea. When they were finally warm enough to remember why they were there, Pooh turned to his friends. Winter is coming soon, and we're going to throw him a party. Oh boy, a party. Tigger loves parties, Tigger cried excitedly. Let's go, Roo cried. As they opened the door, a pile of snow dropped from the roof and buried them. The wind was quiet. The 100-acre woods seemed to be napping under a blanket of white. Piglet, Pooh, Tigger, Roo, and Kanga were under a white blanket too. They blinked. How will we ever get to the party? Piglet asked, buried up to his waist in snow. The snow is so deep. Don't worry, little buddy. We'll go by sled, Tigger said. Tigger and Pooh pulled Piglet and Roo on a sled while Kanga waved goodbye to them from the doorway. As they went, Roo reached over the side and grabbed snow to make snowballs. He piled them one by one on the sled. These will make good presents for winter, he told Piglet. Winter has arrived, Owl declared as he passed by overhead. Swooping down, he perched himself on a branch to talk to the friends. I heard Christopher Robin say so. Oh, do you know where Winter is? Pooh said. I can't say I do, Owl admitted. We'll have to hurry and find him, Pooh said. He told Owl about the party. Would you fly over and tell Rabbit and Gopher, and Eeyore too, Piglet added. I'd be happy to oblige, Owl said. As Owl flew off, Tigger and Pooh climbed onto the sled with Piglet and Roo. They all shouted excitedly. They slid down the hill toward Christopher Robin's house. He would know where to find Winter. When they reached the bottom of the hill, they could see a figure that looked like Christopher Robin up in the distance. Hello, Pooh called, but Christopher Robin did not answer. Oh no, Piglet cried. Maybe he's frozen in the cold. That's not Christopher Robin, that's Winter, Tigger cried. Winter, Pooh whispered. How do you know? Tiggers always know Winter when they see him, Tigger replied. That big fat white face, that carroty nose, who else could he be? He looks shy, Pooh pointed out. We should be extra friendly. He walked right up to Winter. How do you do? He said, shaking Winter's stick hand. I'm Pooh, and this is Piglet, Roo, and Tigger, but Winter did not answer. Piglet nudged Pooh. Tell him about the party. What party? Pooh asked. His party, Piglet replied. Oh yes, we are so happy to have you in the 100-acre woods, so we're throwing a party in your honor, Pooh said. Winter did not say anything.
Winter's the season.
Oh, dear, Piglet stuttered. He's frozen. Quick, we better get him to the party and warm him up, Tigger cried. Together the friends hoisted Winter onto their sled. Roo showed him the snowballs. I made these just for you, but Winter did not even look down. Wow, he's in bad shape. We gotta hurry, Tigger said. Tigger and Roo pulled while Pooh and Piglet pushed. When they finally reached Pooh's house, the others were already there. Al had hung a big friendly sign over Pooh's door that said, Welcome, Winter. Winter. Instead of an E, they spelled it with a U. Everyone had stuck a pine branch in the snow. Little icicles sparkled on its needles. Rabbit and Gopher were inside making hot chocolate and honey carrot cake.
Sounds good, actually.
Yeah. Pooh and Tigger rested Winter off the sled. Give him the comfy chair by the fire, Gopher. Get him some hot chocolate, Rabbit ordered. Everyone fussed over Winter still. He did not say a word. Next to the fire, his carrot nose dropped, his stick hands fell. Oh my, Piglet cried. Maybe he's not the party type, everyone said. What are we going to do? Rabbit asked anxiously. Just then, Christopher Robin came in. Has anyone seen my snowman? He asked. No, but maybe you can help us. We brought Winter here for a special party, but he doesn't seem to like it. Silly old bear, Christopher Robin said with a laugh. Winter is not a who, it's a what. That's not Winter, that's my snowman. He's not Winter, Pooh asked, confused. No, winter is the season. You know, the time of year. Cold snow and mistletoe, warm fires and good friends.
Oh.
Now come on, Christopher Robin said. We better get the snowman back outside before he melts. Oh, dear, Piglet said. I hope we haven't ruined him. Snowmen are easy to fix, Christopher Robin said reassuringly. Together the friends took the snowman outside. They undrooped his nose and stuck his stick hands back on. Well, so much for the party, everyone said. We should still have a party to celebrate winter. That's a great idea, Christopher Robin said. Together the friends threw Roo's snowballs. They took turns riding on Tigger's sled. They made snow angels. They danced around the snowman and sang songs.
Oh.
Later, they took a break for honey carrot cake and hot chocolate. The friends all gathered around the fire. Christopher Robin gave Pooh a little hug. Happy winter, Pooh, he said. Happy winter, Pooh replied. And that's the end of the story.
Yay! I liked it. I wish winter was more like cozy and we only have each other, but I wish I had other friends. Makes me wonder. And I want to make honey carrot cake now or pumpkin muffins. I actually want to make pumpkin muffins. That'd be a good video, but not vegan ones, obviously, because you're not going to eat them. And I think vegan cupcakes would be really hard to find to make the ingredients, but I wouldn't mind. I mean, I can buy them, but I feel like when you buy muffins at a store, they're either really sweet and processed, or it's just really dry.
Well, you gotta figure a lot of the stuff they get in there in boxes and stuff like that. Yeah, it's basically processed food.
I just make my own.
They're made by the thousands at a time. It's the only way to be productive.
Well, I thought about either buying a can.
Unless you go to an actual bakery, like a little, like almost like a mom and pop type bakery, like that. Then they probably make them fresh every day.
Well, I can make my own. Like pumpkin pie in the can. You can't unless you take a raw pumpkin and scrape it out and then cook it down. But I think I'm gonna try to buy a can of pumpkin in a can, and then make muffins, like just plain muffins, and add the pumpkin into it. And I think they'd be like pumpkin muffins. Sounds like a good idea, right? That'd be a good video.
Oh, it's like the one year I tried to make a recipe. I seen thing like that. It was basically a marshmallow pumpkin pie. Yeah, basically pumpkin pie, but like you used like marshmallows to do it like that. Except for I couldn't find marshmallows for some reason. Like, it was at the time of year for marshmallows to be around, but apparently, marshmallows were just non-existent. So I decided, like, yeah, you know what? Let me cheat a little bit here and see if this works. And I bought a thing of the fluff, the marshmallow mixture. Yeah, it didn't work out so well. I made a pie. I took a piece of it to try how it was. It was so bad I couldn't even finish the piece I took. And I was trying. Like it was like eating vomit. It's just like, wow, that is just completely screwed up. It's just like, okay, if I try this again, I'm gonna have to try it next time with actual marshmallows. You want me to read you another one or no? To do.
You sure?
That's what I'll do. I'll read you at least a couple stories.
Yeah, let's do one more, guys. I think that's really nice. Daddy's gonna read, so I hope you guys enjoy
You
this
just
too.
gotta let me know which one you want to read. We already read Pooh Welcomes Winter, so you still got Be Patient, Pooh, Roo's New Babysitter, The Sleepover, Eeyore's Good Day, Tigger's Moving Day, Scavenger Hunt, A Good Night's Sleep, Rabbit's Bad Mood, Why Take a Nap, Boo to You, Winnie the Pooh, which sounds more like a Halloween one, which Halloween is right around the corner, and Piglet's Nightlights.
What do you think, guys? Let me know. Good idea. Halloween one.
So
Because it's Samhain coming up, and Mabon, which is Mobon, Mabon, but yeah.
It definitely gives me an idea one like that. I want to sit there and show him like Winnie the Pooh's dressed up like a bumblebee.
Look how cute. I hope you guys can see it, but he looks like a big honey pot or a bee.
I know, bees do love honey.
And sunflowers.
They like the pollen from flowers. That's how they make their honey. It's also how you get new generation of flowers every year. Believe it or not, most people are like, I'm sure if they're still teaching at the kids in schools like that, but there are flowers do technically have genders too, male and female. And
Everything in nature has male and female.
Has to be. Not everything. Oh. Some things are technically produced.
Isn't seahorses technically like...
They're male and female, but the females actually deposit the eggs into the male's pouch, and then the male fertilizes it in there, and the male's the one that actually carries and protects the baby so they're old enough to go off on their own.
And penguins, technically, they lose their mate, don't they?
They don't mate like that. Usually penguins mate for life, for the most part, or at least for the season. If they'll mate, and they take turns watching the baby. Be like in the cold weather they are like that, they take turns sitting on the egg, keeping it warm. When one comes back from hunting, that one sits on the egg and the other one can go out to hunt. Otherwise, they'll starve to death. So they take turns with it like that. But, penguins got all kinds of douchebag predators like that. I mean, whales will eat penguins, mainly seals, like seals like that sea lions like that will eat penguins. I forget the name of the bird like that, but there's a certain type of bird. They won't attack big penguins because they're too much of a pain in the ass to do anything with like that, but they'll try to distract the parent penguins like that and try to actually basically kidnap. I turned it off.
Oh.
But they'll basically attack the babies like that and then basically eat their babies. Yeah, but then that's how like that. The survival of the fittest, and you don't want to overwork for a meal, so you want to just get the easiest meal possible, which in this case is baby penguins. But yeah, okay. Boo to you, Winnie the Pooh. Once each year there comes a most peculiar day. The dark grows darker, the leaves rattle in the trees, and everything is a tad spookier. On this particular day, Winnie the Pooh was dressed like a bee, snacking on his last drop of honey. Oh, Halloween, he chuckled, though I'm not fond of tricking, I do enjoy treating. Let's see, a few minutes later, a skeleton bounced in. Not late, am I? Asked Tigger, for that was who the bouncer was. Behind him were two Eeyores, the real one who was wrapped in bandages like a mummy, and Gopher who had dressed up like Eeyore.
Gopher dressed up like Eeyore?
Yeah.
So he has a pink tail on his butt. Bow. A pink bow on his tail.
It's not really the greatest costume, but... hello, Eeyore and Gopher, said Pooh. Dang nabbit, said Gopher. You know it's me. He left to find a new costume. Come on, Pooh, cried Tigger. We better get a move on, but first we need to get Piglet, Pooh replied. You can see...
Oh, you guys see it? I'm sure you can.
I was going to say, if you can see what I was talking about yourself.
Oh.
Wrong page. He said Gopher's costume really isn't the best, but give him credit.
No. It looks weird. Well, I guess his head looks like his nose. That's funny. He tried. A for effort.
Yep.
And...
Yeah, Piglet was putting the finishing touches on his costume when he heard a Tigger-like boo-hoo-hoo coming from his entryway. Why, Piglet, said Pooh as his friends hurried to greet them. Where's your costume? We've got to get to Halloweenin', said Tigger. Oh, uh-oh, Piglet stammered. He really didn't want to go outside. When Piglet gets ready, said Pooh, I'll try out my costume on our friends at the honey tree. Like that, but Pooh, Piglet said, following his friends. Perhaps it would be best, Pooh said as he started out the door, if you didn't say my name. It might make the bees suspicious. But the bees knew exactly what Pooh was trying to do. They began to buzz angrily. Pooh and the others ran away from the honey tree as fast as they could. Nearby Rabbit inspected his pumpkin patch. Perfect, he proclaimed. Bzzz. Suddenly Rabbit heard the bees. He looked up just in time to see Pooh, Piglet, Tigger, and Eeyore smash into his beautiful pumpkins. The bees flew away, disturbed by all the chaos. Of all my favorite holidays, holidays, Rabbit sighed. Halloween isn't one.
Aw.
Soon it grew dark, and Piglet hurried home. As he got into his costume, he realized he was just too scared to go outside. Suddenly there was a knock at the door. Who's there? Piglet, he squeaked. It's me. Them. Us, said a Pooh-sounding voice. Pooh Bear? Asked Piglet. How can I be certain it's you? Perhaps if you said something only you would say, then I'd be certain. How about I am Pooh? You are, said a confused Pooh. Then who am I?
I am Pooh. That's funny.
It is you, squealed Piglet, jumping out of his costume and opening the door. Piglet, said Pooh, will you be joining us for Halloween? I'm afraid I'm just too afraid. Piglet replied. That's okay, said Pooh Bear. We won't have a Halloween. We'll have a Hallow-wasn't. Thank you, Pooh Bear, Piglet said, smiling. Piglet and Pooh explained their plan to Eeyore and Tigger. And with that, everyone went home. Now, alone once more, Piglet created lots of notes telling all the spookables and monstery beasts to stay away. They had to know that it was a Hallow-wasn't at his house somehow. Soon a storm began to rage outside. Pooh looked out his window. I hope Piglet isn't too frightened, he said. I suspect that something should be done. But what? He tried to concentrate. Think, he muttered. And to no one's greater surprise than his own, he did just that. Just because Piglet can't have Halloween with us, said Pooh, there's no reason why we can't have Hallow-wasn't with him. A little while later, Tigger was bouncing around when two figures opened his doors. Spookables, howled Tigger, tripping over his tail. The Spookables removed their sheets. It was Pooh and Eeyore. We're on our way to Piglet's to have a Hallow-wasn't, said Pooh. Who? Would you care to come? We made new costumes since the other ones were torn in the pumpkin patch. What are we standing around for? Tigger said, snatching a sheet. They'd almost reached Piglet's house when a tree branch snagged Pooh's bedsheet. Pooh was certain he'd been clutched by the claw of a spookable. Help! Shouted Pooh. Pooh Bear, Piglet said, hearing Pooh's cries coming from just outside his house. Tigger and Eeyore, still wrapped in their ghostly bedsheets, tried to free Pooh from the branch. Oh no! Piglet cried when he saw them. Spookable got Pooh. I must help him. Halloween or no Halloween. But suddenly Piglet remembered the costume he made. I'll save you, Pooh, he cried, putting it on. He stumbled outside and yelled boo as loud as he could. Pooh, Eeyore, and Tigger looked up in horror and ran away, leaving Pooh's costume on the branch. They ran past a startled Gopher who was now wearing a rabbit costume. Look out, Spookables, they shouted. Look out, Spookables, they shouted. Yeah. Gopher looked up just as Piglet ran into him. They both went rolling after the other. Rabbit, who had been trying to keep his remaining pumpkins dry with an umbrella, glanced up. Not again, he cried, just before Pooh, Tigger, Eeyore, Piglet, and Gopher collided with him. Costumes and pumpkin pieces flew everywhere. Finally, the friends untangled themselves and discovered not a single spookable around. You saved us, Pooh told Piglet. You're here and the spookables aren't. You must have chased them away. Way to go, Piglet, exclaimed Tigger.
Aw.
Like that, Piglet's friend shook his hand. Wait half a second, Piglet, said Tigger. You aren't dressed up as anything for Halloween, Piglet realized. He lost his costume in all the excitement. Then he smiled. Oh, but I am, he said. I've decided to be Pooh's best and bravest friend. And that, said Pooh, smiling down at Piglet, is precisely who you are. And that's that.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I like that. Sorry. This is so shit. I was about to cry. I don't know. Don't ask anymore.
It's not the Christopher Robin movie, sweetheart. No need to get teary.
No.
That was a good, sweet story with a happy
No,
ending.
I don't know. I dissociate a lot. Emily was crying a little bit more. I don't know. Brings up my childhood a lot. Whatever. I don't want to get emotional. But Oh no, don't fall. Yep. Hi everyone, I hope you like my story time with me and Papa. And I just want to show everyone, these are up, like, behind me, up that way. And I'm probably going to do a new ABZL room tour, and I hope you like this story time. But I got my beanbag piglet, I got Tigger and Eeyore, and I got Pooh Bear. I have another Pooh Bear at my mom's, but I just want to show you one, the little...
It looks like you have another Pooh Bear up there too, but
yeah, it's a rattle one. It's,
just gonna say, it's more of a, like a very washed out yellow than like the orange the Pooh Bear usually is.
And then this is well, his little shirt, but this is I got all this actually at a local thrift shop, recycled shop, and they were donated, and I washed them and I let them air dry, and yeah. So if you like this kind of video and you would like the story time, thumbs it up, it helps me out. And hello subscribers, and I will talk to you later. Bye bye.